Good morning. My name is Bonnie Lin. I'm the director of the China Power Project and senior fellow for Asian security. I'm really delighted to welcome you to this session looking at where Chinese interference in Taiwan's elections, but more broadly, we're exploring the question of how to counter foreign interference as well as information manipulation. So I'm very delighted that we have a panel of 5 leading experts from Taiwan to join us today. We will have 3 of them share PowerPoint presentations with us, and then 2 of them will share thoughts with us afterwards. But before they go, I did want to flag a couple of things. The first is they're here to join us mainly to talk about what they view as Chinese activities or foreign interference activities surrounding Taiwan's recent January 13th presidential election. And as you know, that election was one that was closely followed globally, but that election also demonstrates the vibrancy of Taiwan's democracy and the importance of not only the Taiwan government taking action to counter potential foreign interference as well as information manipulation, but the critical role civil society plays in this. And you'll hear from each of our different speakers the particular organizations they're from, but also the work that their organization contributes to in terms of protecting Taiwan's democracy. So with that, I want to reserve as much time as possible for our speakers. So let me turn to our first speaker, who's Dr. Yang Shun-Ching. He is the leading analyst lead at Doublethink Lab, which is an organization focused on researching malign Chinese influence operations and disinformation campaigns and their impacts via digital tools and methodologies that they've developed. Mr. Yang has also served as the manager at the Institute for Information Industry and the National Institute for Cybersecurity, where he's been responsible for detecting suspicious account activities. He also focuses on threat intelligence investigations, and China's online influence operation. So Mr. Yang, if you could come join us at the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shun-Ching Yang. I'm very delighted to have a chance to share our experience to you during the election period. And Doublethink Lab is a civil society organization that strengthens democracy resilience by enhanced digital defense. I'd like to quickly introduce the work of our 3-man team. I'm the lead analyst on the digital intelligence team. We use the computational tools to observe and analyze the influence operation and identify the information manipulation narrative. My colleague in the global research team focused on the research of the PRC global influence and published the China Index, the first project to map that influence. Our social engagement team conduct the primary research on suspicious to disinformation and propaganda and develop the interventional strengthened society capability to resist. Our unique strength is how the team work together, and as shown in our recently published analysis of the telephone and the export survey conducted during the Taiwan's recent election, showing the impact of the information manipulation in Taiwan's politics and society. And during that election period, we organized a temporary group to observe the election influence operation. And we document over around 10,000 messages on the internet. We cross the many platforms Taiwanese people use, and also we focus on the China state media and the social media that Chinese people use too, to observe that narrative transfer between different platforms. And during the election period, that's the timeline we compile. We can see that besides the online activity, we also observe some offline activity like tourism promotion and the tax audit about the candidates' business, and also some pro-China statement from the celebrity of the entertainers. The key finding, we found that the main strategy is very good to build the negative image by connecting the social domestic issues and rising the public fears about like the livelihood shortage or the public health. And their technique is dissemination the message through the inauthentic accounts on social media, also some overseas fan page. And we also find that they use the AI generative tool to verify the content on the social media. And we also find that on TikTok, there are some influencers may be hired because they share the same script. And after that, before the election day, around 10 days before, we conduct the telephone polls to realize how that narrative on internet, people take that. And we finally find that depends on the different political stand that our society is very polarized. Here's an example that you may already know, that US skepticism. That there is a well-known biolab conspiracy theory that we also found in Ukraine and South Korea. That's saying the United States instruct their allies to develop a biolab to conduct the virus weapon targeting their enemy. And during this period, we find that for China mainstream media, they say they have a document indicating that the ruling party has a discussion about that, but later proven to be false. And later we found that China state media amplified that kind of narrative on internet, and some public commentator in Taiwan, they also talking on TV shows saying that kind of, because Taiwanese DNA can present the Chinese DNA, so that's why they establish people live in Taiwan. And another case is about the import controversy. That's kind of, they combine the food safety and the United skepticism, saying that United States forcing Taiwan ruling party to accept the pork with ractopamine, and the ruling party trying to discard the public health to please the United States government. And we found that on internet, on social media, we can find a group of accounts. They may use the animation picture as their profile picture, but some of them change their profile picture at the same day. Means that they control that the massive accounts in the same activity to spread that kind of a message. And we'll also find a group that fan page, their administration located in overseas of Taiwan. We found a group that they mostly of them located in Cambodia, Hong Kong, and Malaysia, China, in the spreading trend of that kind of message. After a serious attack to the ruling party's political figure, saying that they are a group lack of moral stand, before 1 to 2 weeks of the election day, we found that there's a lot of spreading messages saying there's a secret history of Tsai Ing-wen. She's using her body and some scandal to promote his career path. And our analysts are finding that there's errors in that document when they convert the simplified Chinese to traditional Chinese. They left some errors in that document, and also have evidence say their picture file path is use simplified Chinese, indicating that the original documents come from simplified Chinese user, maybe from China. And after that document spreading on different platforms, we found that there's a bunch of a video that's made by CapCut. It's a software produced by ByteDance. They use the virtual anchor created by generative AI to read that script. Besides the Mandarin, they also have the Cantonese version to reading that script. And later we find that from CapCut, the virtual anchor can also find in their tutorial video. And this case, when we get a video spreading on Twitter, we find that a group of accounts, when we place their photo together, we can find their eye and the lips on the same horizontal and vertical lines. That means they may the profile picture may generated by AI by some tools. And during last November, there's a cooperation discussion between Taiwanese government and the Indian government to invite Indian migrant workers to Taiwan. At that time, we found that there's a influencer on TikTok platform. They shared a totally same script and saying that if you care about your female relatives' security, you have to vote casually, because there's a serious translation that news says Indian people, they have a very much sexual crime in their country. If your Taiwanese government trying to introduce their worker to Taiwan, they may turn Taiwan public security into very dangerous situation. That's kind of a racist statement, very sustained in internet information environment. But during this election, they just use this to inciting public fear. But we also find some influencers, they usually care about a different topic, but at that time, they just share the totally the same script on their video. And later, Radio Free Asia reported this event, but we also find a lot of accounts on Twitter. They left a message to saying that Taiwanese government should not cooperate with Indian government, but they should introduce migrant workers from China. And then we found that kind of accounts, they may also use simplified Chinese in other comments. And some of the accounts, they also follow accounts related to Taiwan. The accounts they're following have some keywords related to Taiwan. We suggestion that kind of behavior is they trying to use a fake account to manipulate the recommendation algorithm on the platform, because if you have the common interest, the platform will place their message in front of you. And before and after the election day, we also found a lot of election fraud rumors saying that use the old election fraud rumor to telling people that the election might be have cheating there. And we also found some influencers share the totally same script on that time. And when we do more in deep digger, we will find that kind of influence or that kind of message when they spread, they can get more traffic as the usual the video they post. After that, we do the telephone polls, and we found that that last election we also do the telephone polls to realize how the misinformation affect the peoples. But some people, when they ask which kind of when they ask the disinformation, we say, do you read this? Do you believe that? They just forget that. But this time we change that methodology to we ask the narrative they say. So to the opposition party supporter, we found that for them, the ruling party is very corrupt, and the main disinformation come up from the ruling party and the government. And DPP, the ruling party, is no different. For them, there's no difference between them and the CCP. That kind of the phenomenon also exists regarding the foreign relationship, like the main responsibility of Taiwan Strait tension is depends on the DPP, and the United States cause the regional conflict everywhere. And the main lesson we learned today is tracing that disinformation may be not enough for now, but we might consider how to combat the narrative in the future. And we also found they have the ability to micro-targeting people. So the targeting dissemination about the true or the positive narrative and the sustained communication, I think that's the future focus we should. And besides I think the TikTok is a hard issue here, but we have some evidence about they have the unbalanced algorithm on that platform, but the short clips of the communication is a proven strategy by that company. So I think even we block the platform, the short clips to communicate with people is also important in the future. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Mr. Yang. I think there are a lot of questions I have for you, but I do want to make sure that we get all our presentations and everyone has a chance to speak before we turn to Q&A. So with that, let me turn to Mr. Wen-Ping, who is our second speaker, who also has a PowerPoint presentation. He is a member of the Research Committee of the Ministry of Justice's Investigation Bureau. He was formerly director of the Cross-Strait Status Research and Analysis Division in the Ministry of Justice Investment Bureau, and the president of Prospect and Exploration magazine. Since joining the Bureau in 1983, he served as base agent, team leader, section leader, deputy director, director, and member of the Research Committee. So, Mr. Liu, over to you.
Thank you, everyone, and good morning. My name is Wen-Ping Liu, and I'm a member of the Research Committee in MJIB, the Minister of Justice Investigation Bureau. And I am a civil servant, and I also are a Junction National Normal University in Taiwan. So I associate professor, so I'm a member of NGO. Okay. And today my presentation is concerned about the disinformation, how to spread and how to stop them. I think according my research, cognitive warfare is cognized by 4 elements, include the first one, disinformation that makes the true and false information to make it difficult to distinguish the true from the false. And second one, cartoon, which aim to simplify event and create stereotype for the audience. And third, commentary, distort the message. In an interpretive manner to further bring about trend. And fourth, post on the available social media. They need a lot of fake accounts, and among them, pretend to be a female account is easiest to get credibility. This is a very important index for anyone who wants to fight the cognitive warfare perpetrators, because this is we can find them, mark them according to the 4 index. Just like this, disinformation and plus cartoon, plus commentary, and plus the poster, and to send to spread the disinformation all over the world. Okay, this is a cartoon and CNN effect. This is a very important phenomenon. So based on this information, the perpetrators of cognitive warfare can simplify events with cartoon picture to create a favorable stereotype for the perpetrators. A phenomenon even known as a CNN effect. The CNN effect means using simplified and inadequate video or news to describe the whole things, and to spread the video and news to influence the audience cognitive, and to press government to change their policy. If it is coupled with commentary, the effect can be very frightening. I personally call the shot by critical cognitive and behavior change caused by CNN effects is a cognitive mutation. It is very common in Taiwan's general elections, such as rally activity. In Chinese, we call it 造势活动, or suddenly threw or disinformation against a certain candidate, so that the candidates who had no time to defend himself. We are aware of this phenomenon, but it is not easy to prevent if CCP use this method to attack Taiwan. And this is a social network and connections. By analogy, so we can make a diagram to show such a typical social network like this. And when globalization is prevalent, the network can spread information all over the world. They are many nodes, and large nodes have a big influence powers, and the small nodes, of course, the influence powers is a small one, and the dot is only be influenced by the node. Okay, this is information network and nodes across the Taiwan Strait. This is what happened when the model of message dissemination presented in previous slides is applied to cross-strait relations. It means that China, so war cognitive warfare message must across the Taiwan Strait and find local collaborators within Taiwan in order to successfully disseminate it. Of course, such a message could also be imported from other countries, but it would still have to be disseminated through local collaborators in Taiwan. And collaborators, local collaborators, just like we know, the interactive number on all platforms are likely to include a significant portions of robots and click form or contain form operations. But the robots are not grounded. That means cannot let the audience touching. Therefore, the importance of local collaborator is highlighted. Okay, like this, relationship position of the local collaborator. This is a relationship between local collaborator and information dissemination. So, whereby China sends a specific message from the mainland according its needs, and which are disseminated with the help of local collaborator in Taiwan, ultimately accomplish the goal that China has in mind. Okay, so my colleague can introduce a lot of cases. Oh, sorry. Okay, according to my researchers, how to deal with the cognitive warfare, I think some measures have to be done. The first one, immediately qualification. That means that everyone knows the news is fake and can decrease the motivation to spread it. And second one, combat the knot. According to the relevant laws, if the knot spread any disinformation that break it, hit the knot in order to save our limited resource and stop the knot to spread malicious information. And third, proactive attack. Point out the CCP's falsehoods and make it not a credit bankrupt. That essentially of cognitive warfare is trust of the knot. If not, lose their trustworthiness or credit, they can do nothing. Therefore, it is very, very, very important to attack the trust of the enemy knot, especially. Especially the local collaborators. Because anti-cognitive warfare needs academic cross-disciplinary and international cooperation. So for further counter the CCP's cognitive warfare attack on Taiwan, the MJIB, which is responsible for national security, established the Center for Cognitive Warfare Study in January 2024. Welcome to contact us. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Liu. Our third presenter today is Ms. Eve Chiu. She is the CEO and Editor-in-Chief of Taiwan FactCheck Center, and she's also on the board. Taiwan FactCheck Center is an NGO dedicated to promoting reliable information, digital literacy, and improving the information ecology in Taiwan. She has a communication PhD degree and is also a prize-winning journalist. She also contributes her teaching and consulting expertise to various Taiwan government departments as well as the media industry. Before joining Taiwan FactCheck, she was CEO of the Foundation for Excellent Journalism Award for nearly 2 decades, and she was also on the board of Taiwan Public TV from 2016 to 2022. So please, Ms. Chiu.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Eve Chiu from Taiwan FactCheck Center. Yes, and we are Taiwan FactCheck Center, TFC. We are a nonprofit, and we are IFCN signatory organization, and we also collaborate with Meta as a third-party partner of Meta, and we also coordinator of Taiwan Media Literacy Education Program, which is supported by Google. And yes, we do, we tackle disinformation, misinformation, and we also doing media literacy, yes. And yeah, and I would like to show with you what we see and what we do around the Taiwan presidential election. And okay, the main narrative I would like to show you before and after the election, we have a playbook of those rumors. First of them, the rumors try to incite the fear of the looming war across the Taiwan Strait. Yeah, the war and peace. The rumors try to trigger people's fear, and they say, don't vote to some party, otherwise you will get war. If you don't want to get involved in a war, don't vote to some party. So that's the main narrative of this kind of rumors. And the second, U.S. skepticism. As I will show you later, there's a TikTok shorts actually try to narrative U.S. get involved into Taiwan election and supported, particular teams of candidates. Okay, and the third kind of the rumor focus on attacking presidential candidates. Of course, the DPP candidates get much more attacks rather than other party. For example, just like my colleagues mentioned, Tsai Ing-wen's secret history. And Lai Ching-te has illegal children. And Xiao Bei-kim, she is a U.S. citizen, so she is not eligible to run for vice president of Taiwan, etc. Okay, and last but not the least, electoral fraud rumor. Alas, before the election and after the election, circulate rampantly among social media. So that's what we observe, the types of the rumor around the election. And we also observe the phenomena is the AI-generated content goes further than before. Several types, every types, audio, video, text. Most of them actually just made by chipfake, not very high-level technology, but some very sophisticated and it's very hard to debunk. I will show you one later. And of course, TikTok platform took a very important role during the election before and after. So that's a newcomer one. And a bit a GA analytic, and the table show the biggest part, the biggest share of those electoral fraud rumor. The biggest share is about election worker put the votes into the ballot box to do the cheating. And the second one, and the second is about the problematic device. What kind of problematic device? For example, they say, the rumors say there's a kind of magic crayon and can wipe easily to do the cheating. The drawing can be wiped easily so they can do the cheating. And another rumors talking about there's a invisible magic ink, and the mark of the ink will disappear after the voting, and those ballots won't be counted. And the magic invisible ink supplied by CIA from USA, etc. That exaggerate silly, but some people just believe, buying. Okay, so during the election period, we can say seeing is not believing, because the AI-generated content goes so far. For example, you can see from the slide, the right side is what I just mentioned. It's a fake TikTok shorts. Show that the U.S. Congressperson, his name is Rob Whitman, and he, the narrative of the shorts saying Whitman supported Baek Shaw and William Lai and Baek Shaw. He say if they elected, then U.S. will send more weapons to Taiwan and will help Taiwan to train army to strengthen their self-defense and from China invasion, etc. We knew it's fake in the beginning, because if it's true, I mean, CNN will report, New York Times will report, not just on TikTok, right? But it's so real, it's hard to debunk. And here, we found an original one from YouTube, and actually, that's an interview video in 2022. And Whitman talking about U.S. domestic inflation after COVID, and U.S. shouldn't rely on Russian energy too much, etc., and talking about the Russian and Ukraine war. Nothing to do with the Taiwan presidential election. But the rumor just came out on TikTok. And actually, before I introduce this one to our friends, Western friends, actually, this one just circulate among Chinese using word. This is a strategy, I mean, those rumors, they were used because people in another language context don't know very well about another language words, things. And they just try to fabric a narrative, try to mislead people to believe. So I think that's a very stunning thing. When we saw this one, and we try very hard, we use our digital tool, try to verify. We knew it's fake, but our digital instrument couldn't detect or verify. And here we find the authentic one. And compare with the background, there's a guy wearing a black mask and gray shirts, the same one on the original video. Then we solved the case. So that's I want to show you how these kinds of rumor work. And left side of this slide is Lai Qingde. Before the election, he criticized his rival party's candidates. He said neither of them are proper to run for president and vice president. But the fake one actually just remove one word. Proper, improper to proper, not proper to proper. In Mandarin, from 不是 became 是. So totally upside meaning show on the fake one. We knew it's fake, but maybe he will mislead some people, out of context and doesn't know very well about politics. So that's what we say, seeing is not believing during the presidential election. And well, this is the Whitman case I just showed you, the fake one and the authentic one. Actually, AI tool instrument didn't help us. We use our traditional journalism, our geopolitics knowledge, and we knew it won't be real, and until we debunk it. Okay, so this slide shows the TikTok electoral fraud and circulate rampantly on the social media, not just on TikTok, but jump into other social media, Facebook, Lai in Taiwan, and all, out of context video and shorts, want to narrative, want to fabric the election, the electoral frauds of the election. We do many debunking, put a lot of effort on it. Okay, and I try to read up what we do before and after the election. Before the election, we warming up because we have a TV debate and we do the debunking, we do the fact checking of those candidates, what they say in the TV debate. And before that, we also check their public saying about their policy, about the public policy, what they say, did they say right, or maybe they amplify their own contribution, etc. And then we also made a playbook to remind our publics what's will going on, what will come before the election and after the election. And they did come. All rumor, they come again. They just come again and again. And so we can make a playbook for our public to be alerted and more cautious about what we are going to be attacked by those rumors. And of course, we also share, because we are just a very small group with 16%. So we couldn't do anything. So we share our experience with our mainstream media colleagues. We try to persuade those executive person to send their person, the journalists, to join our workshops, hand-on workshops, to try to share our experience and our skill, our knowing of technology, particularly to how to identify the AI-generated content, those misinformation, disinformation. This is our website outlet for the public policy debunking, fact-checking, and the TV debate fact-checking. And this is we try to persuade those, the right side, we try to persuade those executive members of mainstream media, and then send their journalists to join our workshop. Okay, so we got traffic before and after the election. Public actually respond positively for our effort. You can see the peak number 5 is after the TV debate, and the peak number 6 is 1 day after the election. Our viewer just pour into our website to check about the electoral fraud. They're really concerned about it. Okay, and this my sharing for you. Thank you for listening. We'll take your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chiu. I do want to introduce our 2 other remaining panelists and offer each of them a couple minutes to share any key highlights they have from their work, which is also along similar lines. So the first one I want to introduce is Ms. William Lai. She is the co-founder of Cofacts. She founded Cofacts in 2016, which is an open source fact-checking AI chatbot. And Cofacts works to provide clarifications concerning suspicious information on matters of public concern. The last but not least person I want to introduce is Mr. Chihhao. He is a software engineer, information designer, and co-director of IORG, or Taiwan Information Environment Research Center. IORG is a Taiwan civil society organization that specializes in information, environment research, and communications. So let me turn to the 2 of them. So William first, and then Chihhao.
Hi everyone, it's William. I'm from Cofacts. Cofacts means collaborative fact-checking, as means polarity. As far as I know, we all understand this information changed the world. Actually, this information is not a new topic. Back to World War II, you can see like Joseph Goebbels, they use a big lie theory trying to conduct false content continuously. And we can see this information can influence on democracy, not only like military aspect, also economic and some other aspects. We do see the traffic, we do see the challenge among those kind of false content. That's the reason why, even though date back to 2016, you can see gender equity and some other topic that's not related to politics. However, they really do influence the voting decision after all. We're trying to focus on technology tool conducting and use open source, crowdsourcing to combat disinformation. The theory is quite easy. You forward this information to the chatbot, or you can add a chatbot inside your closing chat room. Then whenever you forward this information or someone forward this information, you might receive factual report and it will tell you the reason why. Besides this feature, we also conduct another feature like AI classifier. That means like think tanks, scholars, students, and some maybe government, they can use the open data and focus on a specific topic. For example, Chinese propaganda, international relationship, gender equity, COVID-19, to conduct the specific report as they want to. Recently, we do see that generative AI also conduct quite a lot of disinformation. However, we don't want make fear as an issue among the generative AI. So our engineer also add to some feature to large language model, trying to make our fact-check chatbot can be a pre-bunking chatbot, as long as if someone forward latest disinformation that hasn't been verified yet. Then they might receive some clues, advice, suggestion from our chatbot due to the large language model. We think it's efficient to tell people not to trust the information, trust the content on the internet. Also, we really trying to do a lot of social engagement. For example, in Taiwan, there's quite a lot of groups, especially like minority groups. Different kind of ages, different kind of race. We got into some religious group, not only Buddhist community, also Christian community. Also, we got to like Aboriginal community with indigenous people and with different kind of elders in some countryside. Also in Taiwan, we understand that not everyone speak Chinese. So we also get engaged with some Taiwanese group trying to fulfill some new media training among different kind of ages, different kind of gender, different kind of groups. We're trying to make technology tool can be effective among this kind of disinformation campaign. We understand, for example, all the country has paid the price after COVID-19. Like Slovakia, the person who won the election, actually, they are from pro-Russian Federation. Actually, a lot of people they found that ruling party to pay the price. So it also happened in Taiwan. You can see the divided parliament situation now. As long as we do see the challenge among disinformation, and what Cofacts is trying to do is to guide much more collaboration with technology. Also, on our website, it provides a bilingual, not only toolkit, but also open data and all the content. That's the reason why our audiences covers around the world. And we believe that kind of content sharing, openness, transparency, can be helpful toward all this kind of situation and to make disinformation detecting, disinformation campaign can be dealt with all our global partners. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Chihhao. Because of time, I'll be very brief. I'll share 3 thoughts with you from the work of myself and my organization, IORG, or Taiwan Information Environment Research Center, again, a civil society organization doing data research on Mandarin information manipulation. First, systemic understanding of PRC narratives and behaviors. Instead of chasing individual narratives, we should have a systematic understanding of what kind of narratives have been spread and what kind of evidence can we present about PRC behavior. Understanding narratives gives us ideas about their strategies. For example, discrediting Taiwanese allies like the United States or Japan, or dividing Taiwanese public. Understanding the behavior, how these narratives have been spreading in our information environment, gives us an idea about their tactics. For example, the biggest tactic that the PRC are deploying right now is co-opting domestic voices of Taiwan or any other country that they're trying to influence, or cultivating unofficial personalities or brands that disguises state-sponsored voices as independent voices. So having a systemic understanding of narratives and behaviors enables us to better understand our adversaries, and instead of this whack-a-mole kind of model chasing behind these bad actors. Second, development of language-specific technologies. And in IORG, we have been building a cross-platform database since 2019 that covers traditional, conventional media, text-based media platforms, social media platforms like Facebook, and now video platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Douyin, which is the domestic version of TikTok inside the PRC. And developing language-specific technology means not just text analysis, but also video content analysis, looking into the actual content of YouTube videos, TikTok videos. And this enables us to do a deeper analysis, looking at not just single platforms, but also cross-platform dissemination of information manipulation, and potentially cross-platform coordinated behavior as well. For example, IORG just published a study looking at what we call PRC proxy accounts on TikTok. These are anonymous accounts that disguises as independent influencers, but are actually spreading the same thing as PRC state media on Douyin, and also getting a bigger sort of engagement on TikTok, right? So these technologies are very, very important, and we are developing them. We're also receiving help from, for example, Cofacts open database. Because they are open source, researchers like us, institutions like us, can use these valuable data sets to further develop technologies that will help us to better understand our enemies, our adversaries, but also ourselves. From looking at our enemies, we have also a better understanding of ourselves. Where are our vulnerabilities inside our societies? Who are the targeted groups that are susceptible to some kind of suggestions, and how can we work together to fix those? And finally, diversity really matters. As you can see, 5 experts are presented on stage today from Taiwan, just one single country. We have Taiwan FactCheck Center, which is an institutional fact checker. We have Cofacts, which is a collaborative, community-driven effort on fact-checking. Right? So those complementary efforts are important. We have MJIB on stage, which has excellent expertise on how the CCP operates institutionally, organizationally, and we have data experts like IORG doing data-driven work. So these are also complementary, and in a society, in a country, in order for us to have a whole of society, whole of government approach on countering disinformation or information manipulation, what we're really doing is enabling good actors in our society, and together finding a way, which direction is our country going, which direction, what kind of democracy are we hoping to have in our country. So those are 3 of my short thoughts. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yu. We have about 12 minutes left, but I do have some clarification questions for our panelists before we open the floor to first questions in the room and then questions that we may have online. So the first clarification question I actually have for the panelists is, most of the examples that were brought out were against the DPP, against President Tsai, against VP Lai, and against what was then your representative, Xiao. So, and then I think, Ms. Chiu, you mentioned that most of the information manipulation was against the DPP. But I just want to clarify, did you see any activity, particularly Chinese foreign interference activity against the KMT or the TPP?
For me, that might be like anti-democracy narrative. For example, like the dictatorship countries like PRC, actually don't really need Taiwanese election. So actually, ideally, they might think of like Taiwan doesn't deserve any kind of democracy or election. For example, they might put like an electoral vote to make people think of like election cannot be trustworthy. Politician cannot be trustworthy. Both KMT and DPP might not trustworthy. And now we do have a TPP party. There's also a generative AI video conducted to imitate Xi Jinping's voice and also Xi Jinping's background, trying to provide some comment among the election result. As we can see, those kind of content targeting not only the ruling party, DPP, actually toward the PRC's idea. Taiwan doesn't deserve any kind of election or president. That's the reason why some example might be some content might target also KMT's president candidate. They say his arrest rate, also TPP party's vice president candidate. They also say she had some double nationality issues. So some disinformation and some comment among those kind of content also indicate that the election process is not, it should not be like belief or trust among the Taiwanese citizens.
Yes, I think the main purpose of those rumors actually try to attack, just like William said, the democracy of Taiwan. That the democracy is not trustable and Taiwan is not deserved. I mean, this is a legend. I mean, Taiwan can have a legal process of democracy and no way, they just cheating you and etc. I think they just try to destroy the process of integrity of democratic election. I think that's the main purpose. Of course, the ruling party will be the main target, but not just the ruling party. I think the process of the democratic election, I think, is the main purpose, is the main target of it.
Years ago, I found a suspicious account. He claimed his stand is trying to help in Taiwan independence. But when he criticized the KMT's figure, currently is deputy chairman of the legislative yuan, Fu Kunqi, he says he used a positive image of Deng Xiaoping. It's very weird political stand in Taiwan. But during this period of election, we don't see much about phenomena like that.
Thank you. Actually, Mr. Liu, I have a separate question for you. You mentioned the 3 different ways in which Taiwan should respond to anti-cognitive warfare, right? And the second and third step was, particular third step was proactively act. So what exactly are examples of Taiwan proactively acting to combat these nodes?
Thank you. This is a very important question about how to combat the knot. I mean, the knot, because disinformation or information spread you have through the knot. So our information, you cannot get somebody tell you the information. Your information get from the fixed knot, you see. This is a very experienced, very, very good. Okay, if the disinformation want to be spread in Taiwan in anywhere, the knot, we have surrendered the knot. If the knot break the road, we have to quickly to react, to let the knot to be punished. And punishment, not only punished, we have tell all over the world, this guy tell the lie. So when the knot rules the through the trustfulness, then he can do nothing. So I would say that this is a very, very important. Okay, and may I make a supplement about the first question? About the CCP attack the KMT or another party. As the law enforcement, because MJIB is a law enforcement unit, we don't care about who be attacked. We only care about the information or disinformation. You break the law or not. If you break the law, we will react quickly. If you don't, we don't care about that. And of course, the CCP want to annex Taiwan immediately. They always do this. So we will see this. CCP want to attack any parties not fit his code. So this is curious. Thank you.
Thank you. So I want to ask one final really short question, and again, towards you, Mr. Yu, because you haven't had a chance to speak during these questions. So we've discussed, all the panelists have discussed a variety of tactics the CCP has taken, a variety of different methods. How effective are they in actually influencing Taiwan's public opinion?
I think both IORG and Doublethink Lab, well, it's not I think, in fact, IORG and Doublethink Lab has done public polling in 2023 looking at exactly this, the penetration of some of these manipulative narratives into our public opinion. And some of these, take one example, Taiwanese government, by being friendly to the United States, is provoking China and pushing Taiwan towards war. In our poll, generally speaking, 30% of Taiwanese people somewhat agrees with this narrative. It is not super high, but high enough for us to continue to work on this. But when you correlate the agreement, a level of agreement with party identity, you see about 80% of agreement amongst KMT supporters and a much lower level of agreement amongst other party supporters. So there's really a polarization or a division happening amongst Taiwanese public, and that is probably a bigger threat of information manipulation against our society. Yeah.
Great, thank you. We have about 5 minutes left. I do want to open it up to questions from the audience, so we'll take questions from the room here. Maybe we'll get 2 questions at a time. So I saw your hand there first.
Hello there, my name is Ujjwala Pluri from US Customs. My question is, there are a lot of AI companies in the United States, Europe, and India, such as Deep Media AI, for example, that also deal with deep fakes, fake media. To what extent are the Taiwanese social media fact-checking, agencies and organizations collaborating, in terms of collaboration with their international partners to develop more effective tools and ways of combating this disinformation?
Okay, one other last question here. We'll combine these 2, and I think that will probably be the only time we have. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Baumel from AEI. Thank you so much to all the panelists. A number of the panelists mentioned open platforms like YouTube and TikTok and how these narratives spread on those platforms where the content can be viewed by anyone with an account. I wanted to ask about Line specifically. I know Cofacts has fact-checking bot on that platform, but is there any way we can monitor the extent to which these narratives are spreading online, specifically in closed groups where not everyone can see directly the content that's being spread on those platforms, and what can be done to perhaps limit the extent that those narratives are being spread online? Thank you.
Great. I think in the interest of time, we won't be able to have everyone answer every question. So maybe whoever wants to answer the first question, we'll have one person from the panel answer the first question.
As for the international collaboration among those kind of deepfake and some other video, I would say don't not only depend on or rely on a specific tool on the internet. Actually, they can also say, oh, you might have 60% of generative AI, 20% not generative AI. Actually, for this, it's not really as a tangible way. Based on those kind of really professional journals and reporters, they're still based on their judgment and idea to think of that to judge if that content is also content by deepfake or generative AI. The other question, Cofacts rely on the appeal and the users, the feedback. So that's the reason why how we collect all the data and the content from the audiences. What Cofacts can do is what we're trying to open up those kind of content inside closing chat room. We understand that on some like public affair like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, or some other spaces like Meta, Facebook posts, we can only see those public posts. However, inside Cofacts methodology, we're trying to focus on those like content inside closing chat room. However, those content, their users, their profile pages, all the detail still got encrypted by Line company. It also happened on like WhatsApp. So as far as I know, some other like closing chat room bots, they're using much more like lookup bot. For example, you can like press some keywords like Bonnie Glaser, Donald Trump, and it will show up all the like related fact check report under the database. What could we trying to do? We imitate like dialogue condition. So they put chatbot as a normal dialogue, not like natural language, but we're trying to make like answer question and provide detail to the audiences.
I can speak a little bit about the Line, and actually we do, have a response from Line user, because we got we invite audience and publics to download the Line. To invest our TFC account, join as a friend inside. They just use as an app to share or to claim what they saw is weird, strange, or they think is spacious. Then we receive those claims, those sharing, then we trigger our fact checking. If many came in, and then we know have been circulate a lot. So that's like an alert for our work. And if it's just one, we will watch, we stay. Because if we do the debunking, and we feedback the debunking, and more people will know that rumors. So that's not good. And if many people feedback and many people share one particular rumor, then we know this one has been circulated, and we trigger our debunking. That's the mechanism, what we're doing.
Doublethink Lab also conduct some training program to our regional partner, like across the Indo-Pacific region. We have cooperated with some NGO and media partner to help to share our experience how to investigate the foreign influence in their country. And through their feedback, we also trying to develop some technical tool to get in the dissemination and warning the researcher earlier.
Great, so I think with that, we will have to wrap up this panel. My apologies, we weren't able to answer all the questions that folks had, and my apologies for the online audience. But I do want to give a round of applause for our 5 Taiwan experts who've joined us today.